What's up, guys? So I'm here in the garage today with a little bit of an update. I've got the brew corner set up. So this is going to be a big part of the channel coming up. I used to brew a whole bunch, but then I kind of fell off of it. And I'm sure you've seen the brew sculpture I pushed up against the wall in the videos prior to that. So today I went ahead, I moved everything over. We've got my 20-gallon brew sculpture from More Beer. I picked this up a while ago, probably 6 years ago. It's the same sculpture that Rip from Huntington Beach used to brew their first batches on. I tried to buy theirs from Pro Brewer back in the day, but they sold it to somebody before I could get a hold of it. Got this one from another guy. It's been great. So it can brew up to 20 gallons of beer at any single time. This little chest freezer back here is my long-term storage and cellaring. That's why I shoved in the corner. I don't really, crack in there that often unless I've got some guests or I want to get into a nice little beer. Then I've got my Kegerator, and this is going to serve as a fermentation chamber for now. I got rid of my huge chest freezer, so this is going to pull double duty for now. Here's all my fermenters. We're going to do something with like some shelving up here so we can get those out of the way. And yeah, that is the brew corner. So look forward to some more videos dealing with brewing. Part of the reason why I named the channel Garage Addiction is because it's about everything that's in the garage, not just bikes, not just cars. Primarily, it's been motorcycles recently because that's been my focus, but I'd like to get back to my other hobbies. So, look forward to more of this. And now I kind of want to give you a little bit of a channel update. Just some stuff that's going on with all the projects and a little walk around the garage. Alright, so now that I introduced the brew corner, which is going to be changing it up, let's take a tour around the rest of the garage. I know all the bikes are just like jammed in the middle right now. That's just so I can walk around and actually film some stuff. Let's start over in this corner. So over in this corner, we have all the garden implements. I'm going to try and get a shed outside so I can get rid of these from the garage. Anything that I can get out of the garage, I really want to. I got the quick jacks that I won from Hoonigan back there. I love those for whenever I'm working on somebody else's car because I only have a truck now. But my friends come over and I work on their cars. We got nut and bolt storage, electrical storage for like connectors and things up there. Half of these are empty, but I'll fill them at some point. Up top, we've got a couple power tools. Those are Christmas lights. YZ85 parts, KX65 parts, jacks, the compressor hydraulic system for the quick jacks. That's full of spray paint. We've got tons of motorcycle parts, 50 parts. There's an Aprilia RS50 pipe up there. There's parts on parts on parts. Down here, we've got my dad's old tool storage that I inherited from him. That thing is going to be a project in its own right. I'll do a complete overhaul on that. I don't know if you can tell, this bottom drawer is completely jacked because there's like 300 pounds of tools in it. This is my just kind of mini cart. I've got sockets and specialty tools, wrenches, pliers, and a whole bunch of junk on the top. My welder's down there too. Harbor Freight welder, I should say. Then we've got my workbench. This is another thing I inherited from my dad. It's not stable. It's something I really want to replace, so that's definitely going to be a project in the future. When I'm wailing on something on this vise, the whole table shifts. Just not super stable. Down below we got my miter saw, which comes out very rarely, and it's kind of a pain to get out, but whatever. Got more 50 parts down here. Newly acquired drill press. This thing's been super awesome. Use it for pretty much anything I can. It's fun to use. Got music. Up above we've got solvents and cleaners, all that stuff. That all kind of lives in this drawer. Some car wash supplies in there. Then we've got like light bulbs and all sorts of other junk in here. I guess oil, water wetter. This could definitely be reorganized better. Over here we've got more specialty tools like crank pullers and whatnot. A heater for the rare times it's actually cold in California. We've got the sacrifices to speed up there. I think the only new additions up here have been the RC390 piston and the KX65 brake back there. Everything else we got like 50 head. 50 cylinder and piston, 50 cylinder and piston, 50 cylinder and piston. I think this is from the Aprilia I think this is a stock 50. Oh yeah, that's the cam that exploded in the 80. So a little update on the sacrifices to speed. My press, which is now on casters. If you can see casters, which is super helpful. Just pull it out of there. More 50 parts. My water heater and furnace that is as old as I am. It's kind of impressive. Got laundry in here. I don't have any space for it inside, so it kind of takes up this space. This is for detergent and whatnot. This has fire extinguishers and rags in it. Over here, we've got my mountain bike. I'd love to do some videos on that. Whiting Ranch has been closed between COVID and mountain lion attacks / mountain lion sightings. So once all that kind of blows over, we'll do some stuff with that. It really needs some maintenance, so I'll probably do a little bit of that. Been watching a lot of Seth's Bike Hacks and Single Track Sampler. I love their channels, so they've kind of inspired me to do some stuff with that bike. This corner is kind of the corner of shame. I don't know what to do with most of it. Up here, I think my motorcycle helmet's in there. I've got an RC boat, miscellaneous tools, all of my modem, my router, my security, and then this was a project from before. I wired the house for coax and Cat 6 for when I moved in. It all kind of runs through that hole. I really need to clean it up. It's been like that for way too long. A target for my daughter's archery. The compressor moved over here. We got some VP gas and some gas jugs. Tires for the Aprilia. More 50 parts. I swear, 50 parts everywhere. My table saw. Miscellaneous storage for a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of motorcycle parts. So when the RC390 gets put back together, some of that'll go away. When the XR500 gets put back together, some of that'll go away. Up here we got oils and other fluids. We've got one of the rims from a car that I crashed a while ago. That's another story. Whole bunch of computer and beer brewing parts. The Aprilia's race fairings. There's some beer stuff in there, more motorcycle parts. And my Queen's Decree brewing banner. That was a funny story. I wanted to start a production brewery, so I went ahead and started collecting the equipment to kind of, start in the garage and maybe move to a warehouse. That's why I picked up the 20-gallon brew system. I actually, formed a company and started to look into it. Kind of fell by the wayside when my daughter came along. I was way too nervous to jump into that head first and instead wanted something a little bit more stable. Over here, we've got just some random storage up there. This is something I really want to take advantage of coming forward with the new beer corner. So we're going to get some shelving up in here and probably dedicate this to brewing stuff. As far as the setup goes for the brewing system, I'm going to end up pushing this outside of the garage whenever I do brew and then pulling it back in once I'm done. I also have some overhead storage over here. We've got Aprilia parts, the original Aprilia engine, easy up, chair, stuff like that. This could definitely be a little bit more organized for sure. Let me give you an update on the bikes. As you can see, the bikes take up most of the garage. Keg 65 is in good shape. The top end is pretty much due for a refresh as it's got about 40 hours on it. And those are a hard 40 hours. That's like the 24-hour plus 2 track days. Like I want to kind of crack it open and see how it looks. We got the XR500. I'm waiting on a valve so I can put the head back together, put the engine back in. I also noticed that the one of the foot peg mounts was cracked, so I'm going to end up welding that up. We've got the RC390. This I'm going to start putting back together pretty soon. Got the engine all together over there from the last video. Just needs a few more things. Water pump impeller I'm going to replace and the nut that goes on that before I jam it back in the bike. The Aprilia is actually back together. I've had a video set for this for a long time, and the only reason I haven't put it up yet is because I need to tune the carb. It rides, it doesn't ride well. It kind of falls on its face after a certain speed. So I didn't want to put out a video that's like, hey, it's back together, but it sucks. So we got to tune that. And then the 50 also needs some tuning. It is backfiring a lot, but it does run. So that's something that I will visit again in the future. Oh, also, spoilers. I did paint the tail for the RC390. It needs another coat of black right now. It's, as you can see, it's kind of, it's got some sanding spots on it and whatnot, so yeah. That's the garage update, the tour. Look forward to the brewing stuff. I'm really happy to get back into that. It's one of my main passions, and it's something that I've been putting on the back burner for way too long. And if you're not into that, look forward to way more bike content, because as you saw, most of these things are not done and they need a little bit of work. So if you have any suggestions for organizing some certain things that you saw in here that look like a total mess, please drop them in the comments. I'm constantly looking over YouTube, seeing what I can make. There it is. The small bits containers and everything in there, I built that off of a whole bunch of YouTube videos. So always looking for something that'll help me get stuff off the floor, get things off of any shelf and into a nice storage solution. I'll be back next Friday with a new video because it keeps me on my toes and keeps me moving forward with all of these wonderful projects. So thank you for hanging out with me in the garage, and I'll see you on the next one.